added some sort of pressure. This can be seen in how they encourage their students to follow their academics. For example, you may say, oh, get a good night's sleep because tomorrow you have a test and you need to do well. Even though you may mean to relieve some pressure by having your child sleep earlier, you actually add on more pressure because the teen knows that the purpose of you trying to have them have a good night's sleep is to have them do better at school. So therefore, they just feel pressured even more.
That's very interesting, Peter. Do you have a personal story about this?
Yeah, I actually have a personal story about another type of circumstance that comes around. For example, one of my friends has a hard time with physics. She asked her dad to explain it to her, but her dad soon started yelling at her because he thought she didn't want to study, and he thought that she was slacking off, even though she clearly wasn't. So sometimes parents will end up yelling at their child when the child doesn't understand a topic, even though the child wants to understand it. This doesn't help anyone and merely adds to pressures and hurts communication between both people.
So, relief. What do we do to relieve it? What do us teens do? Well, most of us don't turn to our parents. That's probably not surprising to all you teens out there, because we know that we always think that parents won't help. And so many of us choose hobbies such as sports. You know, I love when I have a really hard time, I go out on the football field with pads and, seeing that one guy and I'm really angry, I just hit him as hard as I can. It makes me feel a lot better.
Other teens also choose to entertain themselves. Some like listening to music, some like playing games. When I've had a hard day, I like to listen to music because it can calm me and put me into a state of mind that won't cause me to do worse the rest of the day because I'm simply angry at one certain circumstance. Like the video said, a lot of teens also turn to their friends. Why? Because their friends also go through the same things they do. They go to the same school, have the same pressures, and also have similar parents. Therefore, teens like to turn to their parents because their parents, turn to their friends, because their friends go through the same things they do.
Also, a good number of them who keep it in, they do nothing about it. They keep it in and they just live with it. You might think that your child doesn't have any pressures, but they probably do. They're just not showing it. Now, a survey respondent replied,
my boyfriend and friends, all of them were really understanding and helped me get through high school when I was feeling incredibly stressed out. So how do you help your teens? One thing you can do is slowly open up to your child. What this means is that you can slowly get to know them better and form a deeper emotional connection. However, you can't jump into this directly. You have to take baby steps and start going in slowly. If you all of a sudden start trying to talk to them a lot and be friends, like best friends with them, then they'll just get weirded out and go away from you.
So also on top of that, you have to offer a sense of the schoolwork. Like Peter said, it's baby steps. You can't build a giant tower without building a foundation. It's baby steps, and it's step by step. It's more of asking one day, do you need any help with homework? Over and over again for about a week or so, and then after that, you add on top of that saying, all right, do you understand this? Do you need any explanations of why this works? It's very essential to your child to understand that you are there to help no matter what the problem is.
Also, another thing you can do is to encourage your child to take breaks from doing heavy schoolwork. A few months ago, I had to write a research paper. And what my dad did is he went up into my room and told me to take a break. Maybe go out, get some water, or just take some time off. Now, I didn't have the time to do that, but it helped me a lot because I knew that my dad cared for me as a person, not as just some studying machine. Now, speaking of my dad, why don't we have him come up and talk to us about his pressures?
And as well as my mother. Okay, so Mom, I would like to open this up by asking you, what were your pressures when you were in high school?
Well, basically, the pressures we face when we're in high school are the same with you guys. We have to do well. We're expected to do well in high school, get good grades, and we want to get accepted by our peers, and we were expected to go to the good colleges. But we probably don't have the same pressure from, as you do, is like dating or drugs, or we don't have that much distractions as you do from the games, video games, YouTubes, or internet.
All right. Now I talked about earlier about how our parents affect our pressures, but how did your parents affect your pressures?
Yeah, actually, at that time, our parents also were very busy. And for most of our parents, I believe, they did not receive good education. Even some of them, even they didn't have any chance go to middle school. So they could not help us too much.
So, Mom, I heard that your parents helped you get rid of a lot of things that affected your schoolwork. Do you have any idea what that might be?
Yes, of course. Basically, it's always what we do, the same too. We want you to study. Our parents want us to study too. So as long as we're at the study table, they'll be happy. They even can carry your meal to your table, say, keep on studying. You can eat while you're studying. So it's the same. So because our parents did not have the good education as we did, as your parents do, so our parents couldn't help us on the homework, like doing physics or doing biology or doing math. The only help they felt they can provide you is that they will provide you a lot more time to study.
Thank you, Mom.
All right, so it sounds like we have about the same pressures when we were teens, but what about now? What pressures do you have now?
Oh boy. Thank you for asking this question. I think every parent in the Silicon Valley, we do have a big pressure from work, from our schedule, from raise kids, from our mortgage here, and also from, including to assist your student to go to a good college.
Okay. So, and also we asked, what do parents do to relieve themselves from pressure? Most of them said they would take vacations. Mom, do vacations relieve your stress?
Yes, of course. At your home, every day when we come back from work, our focus is that, have you finished your homework? Have you done this? Have you done that? But when we go to vacation, we are more relaxed, so the kids are more open and parents are more open to each other, so we can talk freely. We do not have any pressures to talk about schoolworks. We can talk about whatever we feel like to talk, and we can enjoy the vacation. So that's the perfect opportunity for us to get to know each other as parents and teenagers.
So what else do you do to relieve your pressures?
Yeah, I also would say I agree with Nicholas' mom. The vacation is a good idea. So like the July 4th weekend is coming. I encourage all the parents to arrange a vacation with their kids, with your family. We are living in such good area, like the best of the national park, like Yosemite, so close to us. So I think every family can go to there to enjoy the nature and relieve your pressure. Besides that, I think family entertainment, go to watch movie with kids, and even if you like, you can play game, even playing the video game and the internet game with kids. They will be very excited.
That is something I enjoy doing with my dad. Now, helping parents relieve their stresses isn't just one-sided, unlike how it was with helping teens with their pressures. Helping parents with their stresses needs to have participation for both parents and teens. This is mainly because parents need to communicate the existence of their pressures to teens. Teens know that parents have pressures simply because everyone has pressures, but we don't know what kind of pressures you have and why you have those pressures and how big those pressures are.
Now, you're probably wondering, well, you're probably saying that, okay, I'm just going to wait for my teens